Hey there Internet, Keev here, and welcome to the Cars with Keev YouTube channel. In this video, we're going over how to convert a Marolex, an IK, over to be either an air chuck driven sprayer that can still pump, or we turn it into a full battery foamer unit because there really isn't any great battery foamers yet. IK is working on one, I hear early 2025. When I go to SEMA, maybe I'll be able to get my hands on a demo version and see what it's like. Until then, you may already own one of these. And you don't even have to have the Foam Pro 2 Plus. We can add a valve to these. I'll show you what I did to get that to work. If you have one of the older IKs that doesn't have the valve, I would suggest putting it on the bottle, which is what we did to the Marolex here. And this El Cheapo Amazon one here that you can see has the air chuck sitting out the front. That's the better way because that allows you to have the inflator and the hose separate from the top. Now, one other thing is the Fantic here is the better of any of these inflators, probably the best on the market. And this one right here can get you about 40 bucks. I think I wound up paying like 50 or 60 bucks. Right now it's $40. These inflators, this one is very similar in size. This one's about $27. And then this itty bitty little one, which the problem with this one is only gonna last you like 5 minutes because it's so small. It only got 500 mAh battery in it, but it's an alternative if you just wanna use it for that initial pump. And then after that, you can use your pump if you want to. Some people like to do that, but that initial amount of air, you can at least get that volume in there and then use this to top off your pressure. This one is $26 right now. Obviously, links for anything in the video will be below. And I got something really cool to show you later when it comes to a rinsing nozzle for a pressure washer for $8. That thing's pretty freaking cool too. Now, you can do this with any sprayer. It doesn't have to be these two. These are just the two best sprayers that I know of. And I grabbed this one off Amazon for $55. The Pro 2 Plus is about $50 as well. You get this as a House of Rags as well. Cars with Keev will save you 10% there. This one right here sucks because it only held 20 pounds of pressure. Barely enough to shoot the panel. I've had this one for almost 3 years now. I converted battery power about a year ago. Now with the IK, the one I have, I've lost the other siphons. I only have the green one, which is the one I like, kind of in the middle. And it has the tip here. Now the Marolex though, at the top of this little pump head right here, you actually have a storage as well with all the different types of nozzles and foam types to get at the top. Plus this is a 40-degree tip and there's an 80-degree tip. Both trigger is up at the top. IK has a safety though. The Marolex has no safety at all. It does have a lock, so you push down and you push in. It will lock the sprayer into mode. The IK doesn't have any way to lock the trigger. They both screw in right here. They both have filters on the inside. Now, the one thing that I prefer over the IK all day long is balance. It's got this plastic piece on the bottom that keeps that rounded bottom from touching. Now, the Marolex has pretty decent balance. It's not gonna tip over empty. It's good to go. But the problem with the prongs is if you do put a inflator on this, especially one of these good size ones that has decent battery life, these things aren't. They're pretty good size. They're going to put a lot of weight on here and it's going to make it a little unstable when it's empty and want to fall over. The IK, you can put the inflator on there empty, full, it doesn't matter, it's not going to fall over. It's adhesive on both sides, so you can stick it on and then the Velcro will stick. The Marolex, it doesn't attach as well, not even 50% attachment, but even at 50%, it's still more than strong enough to hold in place. And it looks like it's a little wonky, a little wobbly. It's there, but look at how much effort it takes to take it off. It's not coming off. And I think that's perfect. Now the IK, see what I'm talking about balance? Now with the IK, it being flatter and not as rounded like this is, you're gonna be able to get a lot more stick on your Velcro. I will warn you on the little bitty inflator, there's a lot of power in this little puppy, right? It's basically almost the same power as these, but with a battery that's 1/10 of the size. Listen to this. What? This is the other $27 cheaper one. So a much less annoying sound. Here's the Fantic. Even better sound. Now the pressure relief valve on the IK, you have to hold and pull up. And it enacts at around 50 PSI. The Marolex is about the same. 48 to 50 PSI, it kicks in. So if you have an inflator, set it to about 45, 46. So that way it'll shut off before the valve kicks in. The Marolex, you push down for the pressure release valve. Side by side, you see the Marolex bottle is a lot wider around, but that's because it holds half a liter more. This holds 2 liters This holds 1.5 liters. If you just fill it all the way up to the top, your compressor, your pump, you're gonna fill it up and it's gonna die within 5 seconds because there's just not enough air to keep going. The IK has markings, but they're horrible. The Marolex has much better markings. You have 750, 100, 1250, 1500 milliliters, all the way up to the 2000 mark. You have ounces as well. These are both European brands. The Marolex is made in Poland and the IK is made in Spain. The reason I picked this out of the hundreds that I looked at on Amazon is from top to bottom, it is the shortest that I have seen. So it takes up the least amount of room. Take the bolt off. Then there's a washer. You'll see rubber piece, and then the smaller area of it will go through the hole. So here's the hole for the Marolex. I already drilled it using a 1/2-inch drill bit. It is the perfect size for this air chuck. But remember, if you buy a different size air chuck, it may be a different drill bit. Put the handle in all the way tight so it doesn't leak air. Then decide where to put your hole. Just hold the valve with 2 fingers, reach inside, and feed it through that hole. You're gonna have to work it a little bit to get that rubber to go right inside. So snug, it stays right there. Washer goes over top. Here comes the bolt. Since we're all European, here's my Knipex pliers. Amazing pliers, made in Germany. I've had these for 10 years. So a lot of this stuff can be found, links in the description below. So don't forget to like, comment, subscribe. Let's get to testing. So we have a little bit over 1 liter of liquid. I put them on the table and put the exact same amount each one to kind of show you the difference, why people believe the Marolex does better, because the Marolex is a bigger bottle. So it has more void of air. So once you get it going and get it filled up, the spray is going to last longer between pumps for sure. In here is Incredible Suds. It's about a 32-to-1 dilution. Sometimes I do 64, but this is a control soap I use for all of my videos. So the foam is going to be comparable to the other units. Amazingly good cleaning soap, about 8.5 pH. Code CARSWITHKEAV will save you 10% at both DIYDetail.com and the House of Rags. House of Rags, you can buy the IK sprayer. You can get the chemicals and all that kind of stuff to get to that free shipping and save a little bit of money. Set at 45 PSI. Let's see how long this takes. 24 seconds. I mean, it's kind of small to cover a whole car with this. This is mainly wheels and tires, small areas. Peanuts Brake Buster, a Maniac wheel and tire cleaner will work well in this. Wow. So the IK has a much wider spray fan. This is probably closer to the 80 degree that the Marolex has. We'll see. We'll start out here like this. This fan does get smaller as well as the pressure goes down. We're at 15.5. So at 15.5 PSI, this is still getting pretty decent coverage. Let's turn it back on. I got it to 31 and it maintained 31 the whole time. So it can keep up with what's coming out. Now, as the liquid goes down and the air displacement gets bigger, it may take it a little bit more and may drop a few PSI as well. From far away, that covers a large area. Unlike most battery foamers, they can cover about half that, but when they do, it's very lean and you don't get the coverage like you can like this. But you get close, ooh, that's some good stuff. This is what I'm talking about right here. So it's pretty far away. Now we're getting down in pressure as well, but even with the lower pressure, look at that foam. That is amazing consistent for a tire. I mean, you're talking like this much. Look at that. See at the IK even at 15.5 PSI? For $8, I found this amazing shower tip for your pressure washer. You turn your pressure washer off. You just use the regular flow through it. Look at that. So like I said, $8 for that. So uniform. Look at this. Now this is a good quick update for you on Pan's coatings. They've been on here for about 2 weeks now. 8-year, 3-year, and his sealant in the middle. Up top is Hydrolite. This is app polish. This is non-app polish. The hydrophobics on the 8-year versus the 3-year. Here's the sealant. You see the sealant, it's not as beady. And you have the Hydrolite, obviously. Still doing amazing. Marolex, as you can see, it looks like there's much more area, because there is. We have about the same amount of liquid, maybe a little bit more liquid in this than that, but a much more area. So let's see how long this takes. 22 seconds, and remember that is a much larger area, but you see the little mini bike pump. It can hold its own though. The battery just isn't there. I mean, that's pretty close to the same spray amount as the IK, but you see it's much leaner here. And the foam isn't as thick. I've tested this already, so I kind of know what it does. But where it performs is up close for sure. But one thing I noticed about the Marolex is as I drop into the 30s, I start getting a lean condition up here. So from this distance. So from close, it's like, you know, you're good. But we're down to 36, and I want to do this size area. I'm starting to get a bit of a lean condition right here. Show it up here. See that lean condition? If I turn it on, let it run. I mean, it covers, but I think the IK has a much smoother pattern from top to bottom. But up close, yeah, it's got it. For that wheel and tire stuff, you can see how the pattern gets smaller as we go down in pressure. Now I'm going to drain this down and see what this thing can do at about 15 pounds like the IK and see how well it does. I will say, it's taken way longer to get to 15 pounds on the Marolex. We're still right at 29. And try to cover the whole thing. But yeah, it's like, see how you can't, at the lower pressure, it just doesn't, that's 25 pounds. We're already spittering and spattering. Let's get it down to, all right, we're down to 13.5. We can't even operate at that PSI. About 27 PSI is when it got to the good spray pattern. Kind of give and take. You have a bigger bottle, and this actually comes in a 3,000, like a 3-liter size bottle too. I'll link that below. It's about $5 or $10 more. The IK, for its size, and you know, it doesn't have as much void, but it can definitely go into the lower PSI range. That was the 80-degree tip. This is the 45-degree tip. 45 PSI on the 45-degree tip. Yeah. I will say the Marolex, just like with the 80-degree tip, isn't as consistent foam-wise. It does get a strong zone up top here and at the bottom, slightly in condition here, but still an amazing spray. I'm nitpicking right now. When you get close, man, that's some pretty good stuff. Far away, still it can't cover like the IK can. We're definitely getting down into the 34 PSI range to see how this 45-degree tip works that way. But wheel and tire, oh man, look at that. Now we're at 28 PSI. We're already starting to, we're already at the pattern that I could care less about. At 25.5 PSI right now. 45 PSI. Look at that. A little bit further away. Look at that. Now, further away, it doesn't quite cover as much as you want. We're already down to 33 PSI, and we're already starting to lose our performance. And we're basically not usable. I would definitely prefer that 45-degree tip over the 80-degree. But man, that works amazing. I'm not going to do the PNS Brake Buster with these because I know these can handle it. The main reason I use that, because it foams really good, is because I wanted to make sure that those Amazon foamers can handle a little bit slightly more pH, like a 10.5 to 11 pH. I know these can handle it. I'm not worried about that. But back to full, I mean, just like I said, for wheel and tire, perfect, amazing. Now, a few videos ago, I did a review on this right here, which I really liked. It's compressor style battery foam. I'll leave a link below. But one issue I had that I didn't really know what it was is it had like a vapor kind of a smoke. It wasn't smoke, but it was a vapor. Didn't know what it was. I thought maybe it was how it's blowing in or something. But many of the people in the comments who are right, obviously most of the time, it was just pressure. The Marolex does it too. The IK, not so much. So this is what I'm talking about. Yeah, see that vapor? That's just from the compressed air causing that vapor. So it's not bad. Obviously, it's not good to huff it. That's for sure. Here's our rinseless real quick. I'm not going to show any close-ups or anything because it's just covering the panel in rinseless. Just let you know that how it can flow it. A little bit of the soap left in there. So here we go. Wow, look at that. All right, so we covered that whole hood. We're down to 25 PSI and it's still spraying quite well. There's a lot of mist though. You can distinctly see where I over polished. God, it's so bad. I let the polisher kind of slide off on me when I was practicing. You know, these products, they have the foamer and then they have the sprayer. They don't have one where you can do interchangeable tips to make it a sprayer or a foamer. But this thing can still spray, which means you don't have to buy 2 of them. You can just buy 1. Now we're down to 12. It's still not spraying bad at a 10. At the lower PSI with the rinseless, it might be the way to go. It might be a good idea to stop it at like 25. And because you get better coverage. I'm getting better coverage and less mist and less wasted product. 45, it's just misting so much that I think we're just losing product and we're huffing the mist and, you know. But even this at 10 PSI is covering quite well. You can hold it in one hand while you're spraying in the other. Like that. You can see it's just like the Marolex. It's very misty, but it does cover a large area. And, you know, holding it like this isn't so bad. Let's see how this goes down pressure-wise, though. It's the same good coverage, but with the thinner liquid, we drop PSI pretty quick. We're already at 22.5. But even like this, it just seems to be preferred in this lower PSI range, less mist. I mean, we're operating down to 7.5 PSI right now. 5.5. Yeah, the Marolex definitely holds the pressure longer, that's for sure. And by the way, this is Nemesis Rinseless watch, my current favorite. Just works really well, and it's so much of a good value at like 10 bucks for a small bottle, 40 bucks for a gallon. Well, amazing results for both, right? I just love doing this kind of stuff, just playing around with really good products and making them better or more to my needs. You may not want this. You may not want pump, and you're going to say, I don't have to do this. I just pump, and that's perfectly fine. Just trying to show you ways that you can make it a little bit better. So let me know in the comments below what you thought. The Marolex lasted a little bit longer. It doesn't work as well foaming-wise at lower pressure. It's just overall a great unit. They're both great. I think the IK has a slightly better fan spray overall, but it doesn't hold pressure as long because obviously smaller bottle, less void of air. But there you go. Don't forget the links in the description below for anything in the video. Don't forget 10% off code CARSWITHKEAV at the House of Rags for IK and many of the other chemicals that you saw in the video. Don't forget to like, comment, subscribe. I'll see you in the next video. I'm not even recording. I wasn't even recording. Oh my gosh. Well, there you go. Don't forget to check out the links below for. Well, there you go. Don't forget to check out. Well, there you go. Don't forget to check out. Oh my gosh. Well, there you go. Don't forget to check out. Oh my gosh. Well, there you go. Don't forget to check out. Well, there you go. Don't forget to check.